Payday. It's a great feeling, isn't it? The money hits your account, and for just a moment, you feel on top of the world. But then, almost as quickly as it showed up, poof, it seems to just vanish. If you've ever felt that frustration, you're in the right place.
So let's get right to it. Why does this keep happening? You work hard all month, you get that paycheck, but somehow, just a week or two later, you're already counting down the days until the next one. It's a really frustrating cycle, but here's the good news. It's a cycle we can absolutely break. Okay, let's dive into the solution. And the first and most important step isn't about some complicated budget spreadsheet or, forcing yourself to live on nothing. It all starts with a simple but really powerful shift in how you think about your money.
This slide really lays out the two different ways to look at this. On the left, you've got the old way, which is probably how most of us were taught. You get your salary, you spend on whatever you need to, and then you hope to save whatever's left over. The problem? Well, most of the time, there's nothing left. The new way, on the right, completely flips that on its head.
And this quote just nails it. The whole idea is to pay yourself first. Saving isn't an afterthought. It becomes a non-negotiable expense, just like your rent or your phone bill. Think of it as a bill you owe to your future self, and it's the very first one you pay when your salary comes in. So thinking differently is the foundation, right? But let's be real. Relying on willpower alone is tough. The real secret is to build a system that does all the heavy lifting for you automatically.
And here are two incredibly effective steps to build that system. First, you set up an automatic transfer from your main account to your savings account for the very day you get paid. This basically forces you to save before you're even tempted to spend a dime. And second, you make sure that savings is going into a completely separate bank account.
Now, the real magic of this separate account is making that money just a little bit harder to get to. See, when your savings and your spending money are all mixed together, it's way too easy to blur the lines. By creating this separation, and here's a pro tip, don't get an ATM card for it, you build this psychological barrier that stops you from dipping into your savings on a whim. All right, so once your savings are being automatically tucked away, the next challenge is to manage the money you've got left for day-to-day life. And this is where we have to be a little more conscious of our habits. So let's talk about a budget's worst enemy, what I call silent leaks. These are all those small, seemingly harmless expenses that you barely even notice. But month after month, they add up and just drain your money away. I mean, just look at this chart. That daily coffee, those parking fees you don't think twice about, that digital subscription you forgot you even had. Each one feels tiny in the moment. But as you can see, when you put them all together, they can make up a huge chunk of your spending. It's a major leak in your financial boat. And the first step to fixing it is just to become aware of where these leaks are. So how do we plug these leaks? Well, let's go through 3 super practical methods you can start using today to get a real handle on that daily spending. First up is the 24-hour rule. This is an amazing trick for beating those impulse buys. You see something you want, but deep down you don't really need it? Don't buy it. Just wait. Give it one full day. You'll be absolutely amazed how often that urgent, I have to have this now feeling just fades away. Second, you've got to know where your money is actually going. And that means tracking everything. Yes, everything. From that morning coffee to that little parking fee. I know, it might feel a bit tedious at first, but trust me, this is the only way to get a truly honest look at your habits and find exactly where those silent leaks are hiding. And third, we have the pocket budget method. This is all about giving every single dollar a job. You basically divide your spending money into clear categories like food, transport, entertainment, whatever. Once the money in your entertainment pocket is gone, it's gone. No more borrowing from the grocery money for a night out. It creates hard limits. Okay, look, building new habits takes time and effort. So how do you stay motivated for the long haul, especially on those days when it just feels really tough?
The key is to start small. I mean, ridiculously small. Don't try to go from saving 0 to saving half your salary overnight. That's just a recipe for failure. Instead, set a goal that feels almost too easy. Maybe it's saving the equivalent of just a couple of bucks a day. Why? Because success builds confidence, and that confidence creates momentum.
And that leads right into the level up method. Think of it like a game. This timeline shows how you'd start at level 1 by saving a small, really manageable amount in the first month. Once you've mastered that, you level up by increasing it just a little bit the next month, and then a little more the next. These small, steady increases don't feel overwhelming, but they lead to some seriously significant results over time.
So, as we bring all this together, what's the ultimate takeaway from all these strategies? It really boils down to a simple but pretty profound truth about money.
This slide says it all, really. At the end of the day, it's not about how much money you earn, it's about how well you manage it. Your salary will come and go, but your ability to control your money, that's what truly decides your financial future. Stability isn't some prize reserved for high earners, it's a skill that anyone can learn.
And that brings us to the end. Forget about trying to do everything at once. Just look back at these strategies and ask yourself this one simple question. What is the one small step you can take today to get started? Maybe it's setting up that auto debit. Maybe it's just tracking your expenses for the rest of the day. Whatever it is, start now.